streaming. Yes, of course.
And let me
Got it.
just do this.
Yeah, you have to hit your little button. And you got that part. All right.
Yeah, and mute.
Still loading. Why am I not live? Why is the studio? Okay, let me go into my studio.
It's live. We're
Yeah,
live.
I know. But it usually goes into the studio itself. You know what I'm saying? Are we on the right page? Yeah, we're right. Oh, that's new. They made some changes. Sorry, guys. We're just kind of messing around with it here. Okay, yeah, we're good. That was neat. That was just right to it. Hi, everyone. Hi. Good. Hi, Victoria. Debbie's on board. Karen, hello. JP, Jolly. Jennifer, hello. What do we got? I miss you too, Corey. Hi, Kip. Kisses and hugs. Hi, Rockster. Hello, Teo. Yes, Eric and Ann. Hi, babies. Hi. Hi. Let me make sure none of that's feeding back. Let me go to speaker. There we go. All right. We're building up. Sit tight. We'll get started. You know, I play the flute in the morning and go outside. And the other day I played to the sunrise, and it was really fucking cool. You know, I was playing out there, and it was 75 degrees, gorgeous day like it was today. And you just get lost. You get lost. You know? Just get lost. And that's yeah, let's talk about that. That sounds fun. uh, yeah, Max will be taking questions. So, anyways, you know, obviously when I do these, I don't do them with intention, right? you just do them as you go. Like living in the now is an incredible experience. It has nothing to do with the concept of what you think it is. The things that we do, the ascension work that's not fascinated by the fucking details of circumstance and consequence and outcome and all that horseshit that keeps you distracted. But the internal discovery to return to isness is a state of being. Tommy, can you mute that? That helicopter's bothering me. Yeah, just mute it. So we got these nice hummingbirds on, but there's a helicopter somewhere in there. So what I discovered was living in the now, there is no comfort. It's comfortable. There's no pain. There's no suffering. It's not full of needles, traps. It's none of that shit. It's isness. And it is a very strange place. And when I play the flute, I get lost in there. And then I realized getting lost without a thing. The flute is the thing I'm talking about. You know, you get lost in the now without purpose, without meaning, without comfortable. The comfortable we're talking about is the identity, the one you pride yourself on, the one you prejudice yourself on. You guys know by now what that is. And the work that you do to transfigure those beliefs and be left naked and vulnerable and being in the now without any kind of attitude or approach to life leaves you in a feeling of lost. It's an incredible place, but it's filled. It's alive. You feel beyond human, beyond identity, beyond polarity, beyond good, beyond bad, and comfortable, and and happy, and beyond the limitations of polarity. And everything that we do, being now, the work we're doing, I mean, overall doing everything is just one thing and one thing only. Experience of the self. There's just nothing else to it. But the magnificence of seeing the experience without a definition, being the experience without a direction or a goal or an outcome or a transient knowledge that just means dick. And it's just fodder for you to feed on, the ego to keep feeding this relentless sucking of energy to keep you cycled. And you get to that feeling. You know, when I play the flute, I'm lost in it. Time disappears. You don't have thought about anything. I think that's the best. And you cannot think about that. There's no thinking about that. You've got to experience it. And how do you experience it? Without a plan. That's how you do it. Being yourself. You've all heard me talk about the worthiness, the self that expresses without apology, without argument, without taking sides, without demanding, without the fucking sheer arrogance of suffering that you keep yourself in this solitude prison, that you are your own guard and prisoner. Without those things, you crumble and realize a discovered area of isness, of beingness. And it doesn't have to do with anything that's outside. It lies in the memory. Memory is created in the moment. It's created due to the vibration you're currently at. Whatever your memory is, whatever you're in your reality, that's you. Not defined, not definitions, not positive, negative. Your attraction, your world. and you start to interact with that priceless fucking world that shows you, not purposefully show you, not lessons, not messages, not some secret fucking code. It shows you the way you interact with yourself that draws in the things that continue those. So if your life is cycling and you're talking about the same fucking shit you started 10 years ago, you're doing that. Nobody else. That gives you an awareness. I need a piece of humble pie. Awareness that I'm doing this to myself. And if I allow this and not take action, then I start to deplete the energy focus and my vibration shifts, allowing the frequency of different versions of myself to show up, versions of creation to allow me to discover a beingness, an isness without that. And Sly the other day said to me, "Leave it the fuck alone, Roxanne." My mind was going after something. And it built up the anxiety and the heightened, and it was like, I got this. And I was like, "Sly, what do you think?" And he goes, "Leave it the fuck alone." And I can tell you, you're allowed to fucking leave shit alone. You remember my work on keep your world small and own your shit, right? And watch those videos. The responsibility that the human fathoms of himself is birthed from pride, because they have responsibility, which means they count. So humans take on certain responsibilities that are habitual and unrecognizable because of the posture of the responsibility, or the manifestation of the responsibility, like family. Family? Really? Are you fucking kidding me? Family? That's a human thing. You want family, but that's a human idea. We don't understand family beyond humanity. I'm not saying abandon people, but I'm saying if you're responsible and that responsibility due to an idea of an obligation called family, well, then guess what? That's a responsibility, which is a frequency, which allows you to experience that idea of yourself. That keeps you found. That won't let you get lost, because that's familiar. That's always familiar. The feeling of belonging, the feeling of a purpose, the feeling of something that people can go and say, "Golly gee willikers, you did a great job with that. Thank you for being there for me." I'm there for people without purpose, without responsibility, because I'm a creator vibrating and attracting those ideas without effort. So if someone is needing that idea vibrational match and I'm being myself, they're going to find it due to law of attraction, not due to law of purpose, law of responsibility. They're not laws, they're human ideas to keep you within a certain frequency. Look at that. When you enact a behavior, that is vibration. Vibration is what creates your experience. If you are feeling found in responsibility, recognize that's a choice, which keeps you found, which keeps you identified. And there's nothing wrong with identity. You all know that, and I say it all the time. But are you here to remain identified? Or do you want to be unknown? Can you imagine being unknown to yourself? No way to tag you or label you? Because your beingness and your own awareness is priceless in and of itself. You can never compare a definition that you slap on yourself for pride for being that thing to yourself, your ego, or your family, or that thing that you deem as valuable to give you attention, because you know no wholeness, you know emptiness. And that emptiness is found. It feels good because it's filled of energetic cycles. It's fantastic mind fuck. Absolutely fantastic what we've created. And if you keep doing that, then you will stay that. Why would you want to stay that? Well, the thing is, there's no why. You see it now? Why is impossible. Why is versions of creation experiencing? Why is not a standard? I ask you why to reason, to show you there is no why you're doing that anyway. You're not doing it literally for the reason you're doing it, because that's the story the ego is selling you to maintain the frequency of found. What it is a vibrational experience. That's all it is. It's a way to be a human, an experience of an incarnation from the whole of you. Why has nothing to do with anything. That's creation explaining itself. Hang on. Turn up your volume. Sorry, Don, I don't know. My volume seems to be as loud as it can go. Anyways. Here's how I did it. Sorry. My knee hurts. Okay. Here's how I did it. And what am I talking about did it? I found the unknown self. I wasn't there very long, but it was long enough to know it, because it was unidentified. Now it's in my memory, so I can identify it and experience it. And that's part of the ally of the memory and time, is it gives you aspects of evolution. Most humans use time for fear and regret. Senders use it for realization of evolution. And memory combined with that are fantastic tools to move yourself forward and realize things about yourself, not about that. That is not there. That is a reflection of this. This is where the work is done. For me, it was the brutality of realizing all of the selves I've been creating and jumping from one to the other, not even realizing them. You know, the ones are easy, the big ones: obligation, responsibility, respect, trust, all that shit that humans are fascinated by and use as punchlines on a daily basis, right? I'm not talking about those. I'm talking about the intimate work. So how I did it was taking an approach of discipleship to observe myself in the highest that I could muster, my highest honesty with myself. And each and every time I would judge myself for behaving the way I did, my choices. I would observe that, but I did not hesitate. And when I mean I did not hesitate, I mean I do not care what I was behaving as. If it was the truth of me right there, without this fucking thing putting the brakes on your own behavior due to a systematic algorithm behavior that quells your own exploration of self, Despite that, I would let it out. Let out the fucking dragon, the goddamn monster. And it's not a mean monster that lies in your memory or a dragon, it's the self that you don't know. That's the unknowable self that doesn't label itself in a behavioral aspect. It is itself behaving without intention, without purpose. It is getting it. Now, what did I discover with that? A whole shitload of unknown selves, a lot of fucking who's, all these little things that I was doing that I never noticed I was doing. It's easy to cut out responsibility. It's easy to allow the now. All that shit's easy. There's no obligation. I don't have to take shit from anyone. Anyone comes at me with anything, I'll go at them 110 miles an hour. I don't give a fuck because there's no loss of me. There's only experiencing. But that's the idea of waking up. That's done. Now, I got to work on me. And I found a shitload of things I never realized. And that master fucking work was done in the way we've always done it, the way I've been offering it for some time now. Be yourself, not the thinking self, the unknown self, the self that can't help itself, without hesitation to the best of your ability. Don't fucking delay. Speak up when you want to. It doesn't matter the outcome. The person in front of you is not your fucking master and you're not a fucking slave. We're not born lesser gods. We're not earning our way back to anything. There is no outcome. There's only you and your fucking bubble. And whatever truth you tell yourself about the bubble is your experience. That will be forever. That's all we do. We live in our own little vast universe of endless understandings, surrounded by all. I'm just an all in your little world. I'm a little speck of light over here, maybe a dust over here, and maybe a countertop over here. I don't know where I'm at in your universe, but I know you're in mine as light, as a singularity reflecting back my experience. How can I have a truth about that sits in my memory, that's supposed to be predicated on a standard that takes my behavior and squashes it to a limitation that says, here's what's acceptable. Here's what's going to get you that promotion. Here's what's going to make your life easier. No one's having an easier life. Guy's been chasing that fucking thing since we got on the planet. The pursuit of happiness, what a fucking sham. Tear yourself apart. Tear everything down. Sisyphus said long ago, your entire castle is built on the blueprints of everybody else's. Because you come here and you're given a castle, the kingdom of awareness, right? And it's got a blueprint of mommy and daddy, and then the belief systems of cultural and then maybe religious and schooling and boyfriend and girlfriend and your own little truths. All start to decorate this fucking kingdom, and it's a vibrational goddamn mess. It's a leisure suit. It's so fucking ugly. It's a leisure suit. Oh, that was fucking great. Oh God. Anyways, hang on. So he said, tear it down. Tear everything down. And I couldn't even fathom what that meant in 2000. I think it was 2013. I didn't understand all of that yet, but the journey has revealed the relationship to reality is the relationship to yourself, is the experience. It's all sequentialtaneous, all happening in the now. And wherever you choose, there's no secret to reality. There's no outside thing. There's no future. There's no past. It's all in this little bubble called the human experience that you validate. starts and stops in your fucking truth. Fantastic freedom in that wisdom right there. So much understanding. But you have to do the work of pondering, not appetite to know the answers, to figure it out and then write it down and go, I've freed the world. My life gets better by being. And it's not the better of time and imagery and status. It's fucking loving yourself. It's returning to the kingdom of isness. You return to the throne of your own. I was given that today. Returning, the queen returning home back to her kingdom, taking her rightful place on the throne of life. That's what ascension is. It's not the antics and goings on of the whatever current affairs is. I'm 54 fucking years old. Do you know how many goddamn current affairs have I've seen and have meant dick in anyone's life? Millions of fucking attentions that humans draw to. Look, it's this, and then that's gone, and now it's this, and then that's, and now it's this. And people spend lifetimes externalizing themselves. And those are humans. We're not humans. We incarnate as a human experience. We're creators. So returning home was tearing it down and not building it with intention, realizing the kingdom is already there. I'm just going home to what I left because I was looking that way. I wasn't looking inside. I was looking outside. I turn around and look inside, and there's my kingdom. There's Roxanne. Roxanneville. Roxyville. Rockorama. Rockalicious. You just got to do the work. When you come here, you're not here for more information to cycle. You're here for awareness of self, of love, of realization of I am, not of some hopeful information that's going to free you from your prison, because I can't do that. No one can do that. It's a master class. Master class. That was said years ago by Shaw. It's the first place I heard it. You're earning your master's degree in ascension. This is not an easy thing to do. It's tearing everything apart to not be known, to not be found, to not be comfortable, to express yourself unapologetic, express yourself without reason or cause, to live in the now. I don't care what it is. The biggest thing I've discovered that crushed my fears was being now. Because all of those fears that kept me paralyzed, hesitating, and in an anxietal state of being never manifest because they can't. Why? Because if I'm vibrating here and the world of polarity is here, how can I get in that world? I'm not measuring it, I'm knowing it. Because my world, through my memory, this fear crap never happens. Because this is authentic isness, worth. We had to create polarity. Polarity never existed until our here, me, you, and everyone else created the experience. It's not a standard. We didn't go to it. We perceived it. When law of attraction tells you to change your frequency, you think gods that are unconditional having a polarity experience? Someone sell you that idea of pain? How do we know polarity exists outside of humanity? Because a human told you? Because your ego told you, your mind, your channel? Isn't that all the perception of the human experience? Those things can't happen. They can't happen. Because you can't perceive them happening, because you're not vibrating at that frequency. Einstein, Tesla. You want to understand creation? You got to start thinking in terms of vibration, frequency, and tones. Vibrational tacticians have said it. I think that's Amazon. Yeah. Vibrational tacticians give us a realization of creating our universe, but not in the likes of what your ego perceives it, because then you're going to get an ego perception. Don't be the memory and enact those ideas of polarized belief systems, and they have a quality that is unmistakable. You cannot lie to yourself that you don't know. You know the feeling of polarity. You know emotion. You've lived it all in life. You're fucking good at it. Don't lie to yourself. Don't shit yourself because you want to be a fucking special or some kind of victim, because you're afraid to know you're awesome. You're afraid to be your worth. You're afraid to say, God damn it, I deserve this. You think you deserve it because someone gives it to you. You win your lottery or some fucking thing, miracle happens. No, you're the miracle. You're not a mistake. You're fucking an incredible fucking being. And you have it. It took me 9 years of fucking brutal, tearing myself apart, going through all the fucking drama, screaming and hollering and anger and yelling and everything, and hoping and disappointment and all the fucking catastrophes that I put together for the experience of my greatness, my mastery as a human, to forge myself in the isness of I am. And I'm not special. Anyone can have this. You just have to choose it. When I say brutality, in terms to honesty, I mean that in the most validated, thick and rich, full of fucking chocolate reality of that honest with yourself. Anyone that spent time with me knows my journey, knows my anger, my yelling, my drama, the things that I went through to expunge these belief systems through acceptance and surrender and vulnerability. All the friends that I've had that have given me the light to birth myself in my own greatness, my own isness, my own love for myself, my own kingdom, knows that it was a brutal goddamn trip. And I don't know your journey. No one can tell you your journey, but you have the choice to find that unknowable you. And it feels really good. I mean, like really good. I was talking to my friend about it. I was having kind of an anxiety idea. And that was something. And I realized I was trying to find a purpose for the day. And all I wanted to do was contemplate, go into the kingdom, the endless universe. And without intention, your mind goes. And then the mind ceases. And then your isness is off to the races. And there's a place. And I realized that anxiety was a yearning for the identity to return. It's like, give me something to do. Want to watch a movie? Want to play the flute? Play some chess? What do you want to do? I ended up cleaning kitchen. But I pondered first. Can you do that? Can you do this? Maybe. Can you start your day and just go to these endless nows that have no direction? Right? Does it matter? Where the fuck are you going? There's no outcome, because that's just a bubble of now that you say is an outcome due to your memory. You say, if I do this, this will happen. That happens. And how do you know that happens? Because the memory tells you went from here to here, but they're two different bubbles. They're two different space-time nows. Only the memory tells you the evolution, the change, the causality, the consequence. And that's vibration. That's not outside. That's not coming to you because there's someone in charge of creation telling you. It's not that. It's not that. It's wandering in the endless experience of now. There's nowhere to go, folks. Beingness, isness, that's the kingdom. When Slice first said intention is just tension, I was like, holy shit. You know? What do we have to intend? Why do we need to be better? I'm all that is. Only my fractal and the versions of my own ego sell me the story I'm less than for the experience of the singularity, the creator. For I am. That's all it is. There's an outside authority saying, yes, yes. Like there's somebody in charge in your fucking kingdom. No one's home except you. Start working out my arms again. They look good. I like them. Yeah. Fall in love with you. Be okay being awesome. Something else I said the other night was about beauty. You can decorate yourself physically, of course, makeup. And we're not talking about that physical beauty only. We're talking about the entire beauty of yourself, right? But in regards to me, it was the expression of my looks, my clothes, and my hair, everything, being Roxanne, right? And there's so much beauty in it. And you can't think about this. This is what's revealed. There will be physical purges, there will be spiritual purges, but they're yours. They were your exaltation into your own kingdom. They're your shedding, expunging, whatever. And that's the magnificence of your mastery, is that you can. So I probably will put up another older master class sometime and keep doing the pop-ups. It's the only thing that I have, you know. As far as intention, it's really not intention. It's what I know I want to do in the now. About the work. When you make yourself into something, you have to maintain it. When you stop being something, you'll start to know it. You'll start to know this. And all the selves. And that knowingness will allow you to shed those selves of time and allow you to realize your own unknowable you. That self that you can't fucking label. You can't define. And that's a very scary place for humans. So when you realize you don't need an outside guide, you don't need an inside guide, you don't need a guru, you don't need a thing, that this world that you're living is an attraction, and it's here because of your worth, and that will continue if you are true to thine self and realize the guru is you, realize the guide is you, not your higher self, not over you, fucking you, right there, the beautiful fucking awareness that is in my life, realizing this moment with me, with the communion of all that is, the inseparable kingdom of isness, present in every now. It's what you have. It's what you have right now. I paid $5 to Uber. I tip good. Finally, I can. Oh, God, does it feel good. So we usually do Q&A. Maybe we'll take a couple. There's a battle in here. It's like back to Sly. God damn, this motherfucker is so good. Fuck Sly. Long time ago, and some of you may have heard this. Sly says you own an apple orchard, Roxanne. And in the morning you pick your apples, you take them out to the edge of your property, and there's a fence. And you bag up the apples and you hang them on the fence and you put free. At the end of the day, you go back and whatever's left, take back. And that's what this is. Now watch. You are that. You have your own kingdom and you offer without intention, without purpose, already apples every day. You're already that light. If you are authentic, people will react to you. They want to suck you dry. They want to see you fail. They want to find the dirty shit at a certain frequency, but you stay steady and light to yourself. And they'll find other fucking miserable troughs to feed at. And they'll leave your reality and pay no attention to them because that's a fractal. It's not a creator. Creator behind that is experiencing the perception of the fractal as its own mastery. Nobody's offended. No one cares. No one's peril. No one is any of those except you and your human. So when you see that your life is changing because of your light, you're the apple orchard, and you're offering your wares to creation. And whether they scoop it up or not is irrelevant. You don't need to be accepted for the great apples that you grow. You have to realize you're enough, because that's what you are already. You're a beaming lighthouse. Be that authentic, and you can only grow brighter. You can only grow more reality. People are dying for this information. They want to find not the details of what I say. What are they finding? What do they find in you? Authentic light. That's it. I am myself. I am the last great frontier. The freedom to fall in love and be the truest self every moment is what everyone is looking for. They're not looking for the lottery numbers. They're not looking to solve humans. They're not looking when the aliens are coming, or they're not looking for political. That's the distraction that keeps defeating. They're looking for an authentic representation of their own selves that they don't know is in there. And that's you. Each and every fucking one of you deserve to find the light within the kingdom. I have offered the light. No shit. And it remains my light. I don't rest and take a break. I continue my isness. My exploration is what we are by nature. There's more to me. There's more to you. The byproduct is everyone else will wake up. And the ones that are trying to darken your light, fucking let them go. Because you deserve your isness, not their suffering. And if you choose to suffer with them, then that's your reality. It's not going to be heroed by some fucking panelist going, oh, bravo. You were sympathetic. Oh, twice this week, bravo. Do we have a crumpet for them? Stop. You deserve to be awesome. You deserve to fall in love with yourself. And the only way to do that is to bring that fucking self out, that unknown self, to remember it, not in definition, in feeling, in fulfillment, in isness. God damn, this is good. Shit, sorry. All right, I think we're good. Max, you there, babe? Max is in with me, so I think...
Yes.
Hi, do we have questions? Hello, Sally.
Yes, we have a couple of questions. There is Victoria that is asking, with ascension, is awareness of the ego a key to staying in the now? Is the ego always a player in the game when
Not
we
always.
are human?
There's never always, Victoria. Never always. Look at the verbiage you're using. Always is an expectation of the future. Then you're going to go, okay, I always, because I say, yeah, always. And then all of a sudden, God, it's always going to be there. And you automatically take the truth. Answer yourself that question. No. There's never anything permanent except for the laws. That's the only thing that stays. Everything else is change. Remember that. Change is the only constant except for the first 4 laws. That's what you got to see. And the 5th law is constant change. So read that again, Max. Is ascension, awareness of ascension?
Yes, just a second. Here. With ascension, is awareness of the ego a key to staying
Of
in the
course it's
now?
key. It's not necessarily staying in the now. You're already in the now. It's being now, right? You already realize you're always now. It's when you let yourself go in time, that's not now. That's a relationship to egoic structure. I have ideas about the future that are fantastic, and they're in my now experience, but there's no relationship of ego with that. There's no relationship of lack with that. That's not happening. It's the relationship to those things. You're trying to bat it down to get it perfect, to navigate everything perfect. Okay, I got this in place. I got this in place. Now I can ascend. No, don't do that. That's not the way you do it. The way you do it is take the tools and make them your own. And you have to have the courage to explore them. You have to have the courage to do it yourself, because you're not a lesser God. Unless you treat yourself that way. And you deserve better. To let your mind run amok in your thing. The things we gave you about to realize the ego in the now is a reflection. This is a self. How do I feel about it? It's an emotional relationship. It's due to the idea. It feels a hell of a lot like fucking depression because I'm not getting what I want. So now I get to feel depressed. So that's a relationship of a belief system called the structure of polarity, ego. Yes, I recognize it. Now I get to feel depressed, but I also accept my depression. That's a tool, and that's now. It's when your idea like this, oh my God, but this didn't happen. What happens in this? And what's happening in this? And oh my God, I better do that. I'm going to make a call. And you start to be, then that's the ego letting you take away your nows and put yourself in time. And none of that's happening now. You know, the fears of the now that you're putting in time and taking measurements to avoid them. Anyone listening right now, obviously, has had nothing happen to them. All the fears, and you're still fucking here listening to me. That's how I'd answer that. What else?
So next we have Galactic Giraffe saying, truth
Galactic Giraffe?
Yes.
I love it.
Truth has a frequency when heard. The one turn in just know its truth. So why did we forget that we are creation itself? What happened to the human when born if we don't know the truth?
Look at you. Look at you running all over the place trying to figure it out. The truth is that entire statement is your truth. Because you spoke it. That's what you need to see. Truth is everything in existence is truth. Everything in non-existence is not true. You can have a truth about a false. You can have a false that is true. Right? That's polarity experience. Why? Why ask why? Why ask why? What the fuck is wrong with this? Except what your ego tells you. And that's recognition of a belief system if you're asking why you came to the greatest class of all time. Because it only lives in time, because that's the only place you can get polarity is in time. And the now, it doesn't exist until you relate to yourself through time as a polarized idea of relationship. You need to go back and listen to that again, maybe. But that whole question was, look at your ego going from one thing to the next. What and this and this and this. Look at you. You're fucking going all over the place trying to figure it out. You're not that smart. Stop trying to be smart. Stop thinking. How the fuck did Bashar say 35 fucking years ago, you literally don't need to think on this planet? You think he was fucking kidding? If you're thinking, then you can have an opinion about that. If you're not thinking, you don't give a fuck about it because there's no reason to think. Because there's nothing to do except experience. The natural things that you do on a daily basis are not experiential in thinking. They're experiential in I can't help but to do it. That's the passion. That's the interaction of self. But to answer your question, we came here because we're fucking badasses. The game is separation to know yourself not as a god. And then if you don't forget, then there's no way to know it. Because you know all that is. You know yourself, your isness. The fractal experience looks at itself as outside of itself, and it deems itself as a separated idea. Why? Because you get to. Because you can. What's gonna make you feel true about that? I don't fucking know. Get busy in your own fucking kingdom and start choosing your own truth. That's what you got to do there. Great question, because now you can see a lot about you, about the way you relate to your own thoughts and how you want to put it together for some outcome that's going to make you better. You can't be better if you keep being lack full, getting lack, because it's law of attraction. It's law of attraction. You're putting out shit. You're going to get happiness back. I'm not enough. I got to get better. Let me go get educated. Go get educated. Great. But you're still the same vibration of I'm not enough. And your world will be sustained within that world. Okay, you get a better job. You get a white house, picket fence, white picket fences. You get 2.5 kids. You live the fucking dream. But what are you? You're a sellout. Because you're doing what they want you to do. What about you? Where the fuck are you in the mix? Where's the truth of the singularity that chose? Penetrate that fucking ego. Awareness of the ego that is telling you the truth of it. And if it moves you emotionally, if you start to see that inside of you, then good. Then you can see what keeps you in your own prison, because you're the only one who creates your truth. You're the one who relates to yourself. Next, Max.
Yes. So next we have CJ. Sean Solinger asking, what do you mean by kingdom?
Your universe. Look, we both can say in commonality that this is blue. But my kingdom and your kingdom don't see the same blue. We can agree on it through the externalism of commonality, but we'll never know our own universes. You can say Bashar said, you are the only one in your universe. I use kingdom because I like to be the fucking queen on my own throne, my own world. The way I choose to relate to it, not choose to manifest and put it and dictate it and I want this and I want that. I'm not no little fucking small dick complex motherfucking Napoleon, right? Not a Genghis Khan, not a fucking tyrant. Humility and meekness, surrender and allowance to see that you are the relationship to reality. Right now you're relating through ego. That's the idea of the whole game, is to know yourself as not God. Duh. So the only way to do that is not use the not God self, ego, the memory, the moms, the dads, the belief systems you buy into to build the kingdom that you work your reality about. Now you sell yourself the excuse, you have to go to work. I'm responsible. I need to do this. If this doesn't, no. You don't have arrogance, you have humility. Meek, inherit the fucking kingdom. The self returns. Not it's left, it's realization. It's awareness. It's awareness. So that's what we mean by kingdom, my own way. Someone says something to me, I'm going to interpret it my way. People tell me you have to do this and you have to do that. No, I don't. I don't have to do anything. Nothing except what I am. That's the kingdom. Go ahead, Max.
Yes, next we have CJ. Is the perception of separation what causes the emotional pain?
The emotional pain is the experience. Watch. In order for me to feel separated, the idea of emotional polarity, pain and suffering and hope and joy, is the limitation of the experience itself. What causes it is the relationship of not God. What are the details of it? I can't fucking tell you. I have no fucking idea. From one of the master classes, the way you know the human, the experience of the human, is the polarity of motion. There's a place called motion, and it's the fleeting now. It's movement of self without relating it to. Okay? Let me give you this. I love this example. A guy goes, signs up in the military, flies overseas, goes to war, kills people, comes home, gets a medal because he did a good job killing people. He's so fucked up about killing people, he kills his entire family, wipes out his fucking wife, his kids, fucking even kills the in-laws. Now he's a murderer. But he's a hero when he kills. He's a hero when he kills, or a murderer when he kills. See, that's relationship. That's interpretation. People are like, that's horrible. And now that's awesome. Because he did something that is good for the defense of America. He killed the enemy that want to take what's mine. First act of war is defense. Right? You attract. Duh. So this idea is good, but over here it's a bad thing. So who's right? Everybody. Because they're all perceiving that. And that's an emotional solicitation. So that's horrible. Now you get to feel horror. Now you get to feel that's wrong. Now we need to revenge this guy. He killed his family. Fucking give him the needle. I got to get that pain out because that's wrong. And that doesn't go against my right. My right. Fuck you. You killed. Yes, thank you for your service over there, but you killed your family. That's wrong. So give him the needle. Look at that. Look at that. Where else do you get that emotion? Where? Tell me. Tell me. Tell me where else you can do and live this way and feel this alive this way. Human. Separation. We can't get it anywhere else. Because there's no other species, no other incarnation that is separated from its own self in perspective. The kingdom, I am a God. You are a God. There's no loss of God. It's only the perception that keeps you in the idea of relationship to the ego, to the emotion. I had so much fucking anger because I was wrong and I was rage. And I was like, wow, it's my anger. I'm mad because I want them to suffer because what they did to me. Victim, blah, blah. Work, tear it down to realize emotion. That feeling is absolutely priceless and I get to. And now that I'm aware of it, I can transfigure it. And now I'm not emotion, I'm motion. I'm alive in myself, but I can't get mad. I am myself. I'm not reacting, I'm being. And that may look the same to you, but I don't give a fuck about you. Because it isn't your kingdom, it's mine. Get busy in your kingdom. That's what you gotta say. Booyah. Go ahead, Max.
Yes, we have Galactic Giraffe. Another question. Once the human lives 100% in the now, will it be similar to dream state or like the Matrix where you can fly and stuff?
It would be nothing that you can label. That's what the now is like, because you can't find it in the memory because the memory is not now. You can't live that experience according to a memory. That's what I said at the beginning. Go back and listen. You can't discover this place with an intention of what it feels like because it doesn't feel like a self of found. It is an unknown place. But when you're there, you'll know it. And the only way I found it is not being human, is being the idea of I am. It may look human, but it wasn't the human in my memory. It wasn't the obligated the human, the dedicated the human, the motivated, the intentional human, the goal-oriented human. I'm going to get more likes. I'm going to get more views. I'm going to do this, and I'm going to be a great fucking channel, and people are going to envy me. I didn't have a fucking reason of my existence because I am. And what happened is a state of being that you can't fucking solicit or intentionalize. You discover, you realize by tearing down all the fucking shit that you think you are and start being the self. And when you realize the selves that you are no longer, you have the courage and the honesty to let go of those identities and be humble to the world and humble to yourself that you deserve to be light and not your own fucking coward self going, I didn't do that. That's not me. Fuck that. Be awesome. Be yourself. And then you'll know a feeling that you can't get the matrix. No one knows what the fucking matrix is except what they tell themselves in the truth. There's no common matrix. There's no commonality. Every universe is singular, own, self-experiential. My blue. It's my blue, not yours. Your blue is yours. Own it. Own that self, own that understanding. Don't think, if I gave you an answer, like some arrogant fucking fuckwad that's standing on the stage selling tickets, I got the answers. And they give you an answer and you're going, golly gee willikers, that's the answer. That's what it's gonna, then you're gonna mimic and mock and intentionalize 20 fucking years to try to gain that perspective that's sitting in your fucking memory. It's in your memory because it's your matrix. Don't be someone else's, be yours. And whatever it is, it's not a waste of time because it's always now. And memory is created in the moment. So you're a goddamn time machine, aren't you? You're just paying attention to time, which keeps it moving in a particular way. Be now, and then time's all over the place. But those are miracles of the worthy of self-exploration, not the ideas of hopeful miracles or needed miracles, or I've done enough fucking seance miracles, or I've done enough fucking mantra miracles, and I took enough fucking ayahuasca miracles, and I've done everything to do this, and it's still not there. Well, no shit. Because the kingdom of heaven lies within. It's an internal fucking journey. So you can't get it from me, master. It's a master class of self-discovery. It's a master class of self-discovery. You got something else, Max?
Yes. But I have one myself. When we speak about the matrix, do we speak about something that is computerized or something else? I always have this thing because then what I'm wondering at is what about free will if you have a computerized idea of a matrix? Because a computer needs a program, and a program only works on what is programmed, right?
Yeah.
So I'm lost in that concept of computerization, if you want, in that idea, I mean.
Yeah, no, I get it. Funny Smiles asks, is there any other place other than that experience polarity? I don't know, because I've never been there. You know where I've been? The only place I know is human. That's what I've experienced, is the human. For me to put a truth on that, no idea. Bashar had said the new human, after this Homo sapien evolves, that ascends in the fourth density, whenever the hell that happens, it becomes what they call Homo galacticus. Stick with me on this. Then the new human will also understand polarity, but in a much different, not much different, but a different aspect. Those are Venusians, Venus, right? But let me ask you a question. That entire statement came from Daryl Anka. And you know where that is? It's in human. That's all it is. So I have no idea what's out there in the future, and I'm not fucking interested in it, because that doesn't create me. I create nows with the relationship with myself. And I'm vibrating at my authentic, and my authentic is worthiness that is immeasurable. then there's nothing else to know. Yeah.
We have Karen with a question. How is intuition formed? We connect to our higher self and perceive all possible outcomes, something like that.
I don't really know how it's formed. I just know it's there. I don't need to know how it's formed because I'm not writing a paper on it to get it graded by some college professor to give me some kind of attribute or accolades so that I can figure it out intuition. Because I'm not interested in what other people are about. All I know is I have it and I use it because I'm not the higher self and the higher self isn't me. I'm God and God is me. That's all I need to know. But in your reality, you can have whatever you want. You can have a higher self. That's 20-year-old information. It's time to let go of certain rungs of the ladder of waking yourself up and starting to step into your own isness. You have intuition, trust it and use it. Don't doubt it because you can't make a mistake. Mistake is a perception. Mistakes are a perception because you're consequencing the outcome based on a standard of your memory that says this is an emotional idea of a mistake. And that's the story you tell yourself, and that's the story that you are and is experience. Doesn't make you better, doesn't make you worse. It makes you experiential of the choice of the relationship to yourself. That is awareness. Booyah. Think that's good, Max? We're good?
There is one last thing
Okay.
here. I don't know. Kathy is saying, on that note, so is it a holographic universe? I have mine and you yours?
Say that again?
On that note, so is it a holographic universe?
Well, I don't know. I don't know why to put it in a thing of a standard. I don't want to keep it standardized. It's a holographic universe. But in the perception of humanity, with the truth that was offered by what you would consider the quantum physics scientists, Nassim Haram and all those guys doing those masterful works, we're on a vibrational interpretation of light. So yes, it can be interpreted as a holodeck idea. We're only light. You know, light is the perception that we have of our reality. Yes, very good, Karen. So yeah, we can look at it like that because that's a thing. But I know one thing: it's not permanent. That's a perception of the now. I have an unending universe of discoveries of a million different ways to interpret reality and understand the perception of reality in and of itself, from a thought idea, from a light idea, from maybe a quantum idea that I can't even label in a human terms because the human is contained to the human experience. The human is here. And here's another entire universe, and then another one, and then another one, and then another one. And they're all completely different than those human ones. So I can't say this goes over there because that would be rude of me to actually think that this is applicable anywhere else. Because all I know is this. Because I've only been looking in this idea, perception. That's this game. When the game's over and we go home and everyone that's saying what happens afterwards is all interpretation of human. But I guarantee you we'll find out. And that's going to be an exciting day to realize the self because I feel it. It's not some fairy tale, it's some mystical idea of hope and, or a good, comfortable, emotional relationship to what's after this or what lies out there. It's nothing to do with emotion. It's where you are now, that isness, that you will know, a knowing that's unshakable and undefendable. You don't need to defend it. You would never argue for it or argue against your own truth of your knowing of your own isness. The return home isn't after the fact, and all the stuff that we've learned lies out there. And that's all around standard. It's not. What it is you realize that you're your own kingdom. And the way you interpret reality lies within your own consciousness. And the things that are standard and are of permanency of time that have anything to do with humans tell you is outside of your now is another part of your now. That's all it is. It doesn't leave that. It's only in the now. Because, when you're not thinking about that and you're in this now, it's not a part of your now. That doesn't mean that idea of the holodeck and everything over there, and that is a standard, is actually happening, because it's only happening in your world when you say it is. Fantastic. Ah, fantastic. All right, Max, we're good?
Yes, we are.
All right, everyone. Thanks for joining us tonight. I love you all. You always want to, my mind, give you great departing words. Just do the work. Fall in love with you. You're not a lesser God. Choose your awesome. Choose your light. Choose your authentic. And how you relate to it and what truths that you put down there are yours. Own them. And doesn't matter what anyone else is saying. Because if you get caught up in that mess, then you're going to be energizing that now and keeping yourself within that frequency. Make your world small. Not small in stature or in size, but the idea of what you pay attention to. Go to the kingdom. All right, guys. I love you all. Thanks for joining. Good to see you, Tawny. Hey, Till. Galactic, thanks, darling. Hey, Sally. Karen, Peyton, Karen. 2 Karens. All right, everyone. Max, thank you so much. Stay on for a little bit afterwards. I love you guys. Rock your reality. We'll see you in the next now.